Young children everywhere are struggling in these hard times due to COVID. Research has found that children in 65% of households are learning exclusively online. What out there could possibly cure a child's boredom as well as provide a fun learning opportunity? Imagine that you are that child. You're stuck at home and all of your friends are in quarantine. Suddenly, robots are taking over the planet and you need to save the human race. The cure is on Mars, but how do you get there? All you're given is a single balloon, so using your imagination, you make a balloon rocket and launch yourself into a space adventure.
Our mission at Inventors Adventure is to promote innovation and problem solving among young children through engaging stories and activities.
I'm Max.
I'm Ayud.
I'm Gersarat.
I'm Sonia.
Julie.
We achieve this mission with our product, Science Adventure. Based on our market research, we found a target market to be parents and teachers of 6 to 14-year-old children. And to differentiate ourselves against our competitors like KiwiCo, we needed our product to be more than just a single experiment in a box. Not only does our kit include most materials to complete 5 experiments, but through a one-of-a-kind storybook, we take the child on a round-trip space adventure from Earth to Mars, where they face challenges such as building a catapult to launch themselves back home to save the human race.
One of the challenges we faced was how to produce our invention efficiently without being face-to-face. We solved this problem with a contactless hub and spoke system to distribute materials and assemble product kits while maintaining quality standards. We achieved this in under 4 days between 15 households with no loss of inventory or COVID spread. Another challenge we faced was reaching our target market. We executed our marketing strategy using social media and our email list, but sales were not taking off. To expand buy feature, where customers purchase kits for children in need. This was a shooting star for us. These purchases totaled over $1,300 in donated product, providing a kit to every girl in Girls First and 28 kits to the Boys and Girls Club, landing a 66% increase in our total sales.
Once our sales blasted off, we sold our entire inventory of 146 kits, which after expenses generated $1,800. To give back to our community, we donated 10% of our profits to iPraxis, which aligns. We also increased value to our shareholders by raising our profit margin from 57% to 70% by hand delivering wherever possible. This resulted in a 342% ROI.
We learned that a small group of high school students in a company really can have a significant impact. It was amazing to hear how our product engaged and inspired children. One customer went as far as creating their own fan fiction based on our story. Through this adventure, we have grown both personally and as a team through developing delegation and communication skills, navigating how to work in an all-virtual environment, and being part of an ownership culture. We took time in each meeting to recognize all company achievements, including praising members who went above and beyond.
The sky is the limit and where we can go next and continuing to inspire young inventors. Future plans would focus on expanding our product line through additional adventure themes, increasing our sales outlets to physical venues, and growing our community to be more connected through our website and social media. With a high-performing team, strong demand, and engaging products, our adventure has only begun to imagine, invent, and inspire. Are you ready to join us on our adventure?
I think I'm absolutely blown away by your ROI, which is fantastic. This is Regina speaking. Tell us how did you help with this idea? What was the conversation? How did it emerge from your team?
I'm sorry, you cut out for me a bit. Could you repeat your question?
Sure. I was asking if you could expand on what was the genesis of this great idea that resulted in a 342% ROI. How did it emerge from the team?
Yeah, so when we came together as a team, there is multiple products and ideas that we all kind of came together and voted on. And a lot of what the vote had to do with was to really be kind of under some certain guidelines of which was kind of best in all these areas, such as, cost to make, demand for the product, things like that. So this product scored really high in all those areas and really did have a strong demand because of the huge problem facing our community that it really helped to solve. So.
Great. Jim, do you want to go next, or would you like me to go?
Why don't you go?
Thanks. Really strong presentation, team. Congratulations on that, and taking a look at your company report. Just the way that it's laid out is fantastic. Obviously good descriptions and colors, and just a really good way to kind of draw the individual in. Because supply chain can be fairly complex. I couldn't see necessarily what the structure of the supply chain looked like, the roles and responsibilities, how you develop that. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. So as we had mentioned in our presentation, we used a hub and spoke method. So as you said, it was a very complex process, and we needed to stay organized. So we had all materials needed to assemble the kits delivered to a central hub where they were organized into bags. Company members were then able to come to this hub, pick up a bag with enough supplies to make, I believe it was 20 kits, 20 kits. And then they were able to take this home, make the products by themselves, and then they received further instructions regarding shipping or delivery methods.
Great, thank you. Was there a central person who was kind of responsible for leading the supply chain, or was it fully a bit of a team effort?
I was actually the VP of supply chain, so I did manage a lot of the inventory tracking and just making sure products were getting to the right place. But overall, it was a team effort as there were so many moving parts involved.
Great, thank you.
So I'd like to ask a little bit about the pivot in the target audience. So you started with parents and teachers, and I think your words, you decided to pivot to more of a target for purchasing for children in need. I'd imagine like early on, like it kind of hurt a little bit, like you weren't selling. And like, how did you guys process that as a team and actually make that pivot?
Of course, yeah. And like all the other teams I mentioned, working in an online environment really has been different. But we really wanted to make sure that we were able to adapt really quickly. So early on, we were seeing that between marketing and social media efforts on online and things like that, we knew and planned for them to take time to really start to develop and compound over time. So in the beginning kind of areas of that, sales were slow, yes, and mostly limited to our personal connections when it came to finding these parents and teachers of small children. So when we started to see that and started to analyze, how can we still achieve our goal of completely selling out within such a small JA, time frame? So then we developed this idea, which was able to obviously broaden our market to really anybody in our community who had a desire to give back. So, just kind of analyzing and being able to adapt and plan well is really how we were able to achieve that.
So I add on to that sort of from the sales aspect. I was a sales member. Towards the later part of the progress, our sort of sales numbers, the graph, it started off slow, but then towards the last few weeks, it was growing exponentially. I mean, like double exponentially too. If we had a few more weeks, I'm sure we would have doubled our numbers.
You would put pressure on your supply chain if you did that, so you got to work together.
No, but to that end, I think, and you mentioned the pivot, another good pivot that I think I saw in there was that they increased their price, right? Supply and demand. So, they were at 50-something%, went up to 70% in relation to the demand that was out there in the system. So a question to that, because it seems to be a fantastic product, fantastic response in a non-COVID world. Any thoughts on how you would then, again, potentially pivot what your sales and marketing plan may look like in order to continue with the business?
Mm-hmm. Of course, yes. So there's, especially if there's non-COVID, there's tons of ways we can span, really endless. A few to name, just to name a few, would be physical venues, such as having our products within stores and having other kind of physical sales hubs or places where we could sell our product to kind of increase, awareness of our product. As well as kind of help engage the community even more by using, social media methods and things like that to kind of help everyone really come together, whether they're, halfway across the world or not. as well as kind of increasing, more kits, just having more kits and other options to our kits with different things and stuff would also, and have those in our physical venues would also increase the demand further. So
additionally, just to add on again, we know that these methods would be successful because we recently got great customer feedback on our product right now. One of the board members of Junior Achievement actually said that she called it exactly what her children needed at the time, because her children, it was a dream come true for them because they were able to get this hands-on experience in just a small box and learn so much valuable information, both science and in writing and reading as well.
Sounds like you may have something there.
Well done.
Great job.
thank you.